Where's everything? Come on. Good evening. Say hi when you pop in. Let me know where you're from. I'm just watching it. It looks like it's running pretty low here, so I don't know. Let me know how everything sounds, if the sound is good and everything. But yeah, welcome to Chatters Live, our regular Sunday. I'm sure Andrew should be here any minute now. And yeah, let's see who pops in today. Let's see how everybody is doing when you come in, Just let me know that everything is good, right? For the moment, everything is good right now. That's what I want to hear from everybody, right? And let's hope that everybody is managing, right? I have scraped together ingredients for a great big pot of soup, so I am good for a couple of days, right? And unless they want me to take a class tomorrow, I'm working on tomorrow's post too. So right now I'm working on that. So we'll have that one ahead of time because I'm going to try and get outside tomorrow. I'm going to go for a long bike ride. I'm going to see if I can ride up to the forest tomorrow and spend the day in the forest. We'll see, right? I'll make that my goal. That'll make for a nice full day, but I would have to have my post ready for tomorrow so that when I came home, all I had to do was push the button because then I'm just not going to be able to get there, right? In order to write a post otherwise. Hi, Andrew. Awesome. Actually, I had just you can see the steam coming off my, here, put it over here. See the steam coming off my coffee cup here? Exactly. Oh, right. And it's the same forest. Me and Sharon, when Sharon was here, we went up to that forest every day because we were poor, right? We didn't have a lot of money. And so I didn't have any. So we did free things the whole time she was here. And going for an evening walk up at the forest was something that we did every day. And she really, really enjoyed it too, which made me happy, right? Because you could tell it wasn't just, oh, right, another walk. Like you could just see the joy in her face, right? Oh, William's here too. Hi, William. You could really see the joy in her face when we went out for our walks. I should repost those clips with me and her going for a walk. When the aspens, right? Because the aspens, the leaves on the trees, for some reason in the winter, they're so tiny and light, right? They're so tiny and light, but they just cling to the branches. So when you have those big, when they dry out for winter, when in the fall and the wind starts to pick up and they rattle like, what do you call those Mexican shakers? I guess they call them Mexican shakers, right? There must be a name for them. What do you call those things? We used to get them for Christmas in our stocking maracas. Yes, maracas. And what kind of soup are you having? I'm going to make a chicken carrot, chicken carrot, onions, beans. I boiled some beans, so I've got some beans. And I'm sure I'll be using it as filler, right? But yeah, lots of carrots. I love carrots, and carrots are very good for you, right? Yeah, I've got a whole chicken, right? I've got a whole chicken now. I'm not going to use like the drumsticks and the thighs and stuff, right? But well, the cat doesn't even eat people food either, right? So I don't know what I'll do. Maybe I'll just put it on a plate and take it down to the caretaker. Yeah, I can do that. Right? Yeah, he'll like that. He'll like the chicken thighs and the chicken legs. I just want the chicken breasts, right? And then tomorrow I'll dice them up, and then I'll use one side of chicken breast and I'll make a fried rice, and then on the other side of the chicken breast, then I'll add to my soup. Yeah. That's the plan. That's the plan. That's my new thing. Everything has to be on a plan. Everything. I want to do something. It has to go on a, it has to go on a plan. Oh, like you like this one. Like I'm my affirmations, right? Or I guess they're not affirmations. They're kind of like, abundance. They're manifest, right? They're just like, can I have $30,000, please? Just so you know what I asked the world for, right? Yeah. That way I could get my eyes done and my dental done, right? I'm still wearing all my clothes from when I didn't even buy underwear. I'm still wearing diaper underwear. Where it's a good thing I'm not married or have a boyfriend, because yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, because we could probably both fit in the underwear. But I wear them anywhere. They were like brand new, right? They were brand new, and as long as right. But I do need clothes, and I need a vehicle, and I need to pay my sister Tracy some money back, right? I need to, oh, little itch there. I have to give my sister some money back, show her all the appreciation, right? Of everything that she's done for me, right? Yeah. Pass along a lot of those kindnesses, right? Because they were all done with the heart, right? They were all done with the heart. And I know that. So yeah. Okay, so what else is up with you guys? Give me something to run on tonight. Shoot me out something and we'll just run with it tonight. Let's see, maybe Robert will come in again this weekend. You see, to enjoy himself here last Sunday, so maybe he'll pop in again, right? Yeah, I like Robert. He's a good guy, right? Yeah. Yeah. And I like you guys take good care of each other too, especially when I get yapping, like when I watch the lives over again and I go, holy cow, do those guys, like I don't even know how they do it. They just kind of like have their own little system going on. If you guys want to pop into the chatter tonight, this is William and Andrew going at it in the chat right now. And yeah, they're happy to have you. They're happy to have you, but they'll yap away. They'll yap away whether you join them. They join them or not. And every once in a while, somebody will pop in and yeah, they'll snag on. Oh, that sounds good. The Jamaican patties. We have something here called uh there's so many festivals, but I want to make sure that I get this one right. The folk festival? No, the folk festival's the one out in the ah it's but what it is, it's each community center and churches and schools and stuff. Each one of those buildings will represent a country, right? A country in the world, and all over the city. It's all over the city. So you buy a passport and you go to these shows, right? And it's like the community. Like if you go to to the Jamaican one, they'll have dancers and musicians and those silver tambourine things where I would love to have one of those, and then you bong inside of them and stuff, right? And then you can go to like the Indian pavilion, or you can go to the East Indian pavilion, or you can go to Chinese pavilion, right? Like all over the world. And it's such a pop. I think it's the only one in Canada that they do, right? But it's here in Winnipeg. We've been doing it for decades, right? For decades. But there's such a good show, right? You just show you just show your passport, and as many as you can get in, because they'll do a show like every half an hour or every hour or so, right? So you would just go in and look at all the food, right? Because it'll all be food from that culture, right? Or that country. And then you watch a show, and each country will represent, usually dancing or maybe maybe like bands, their interests in music, some different types of theater and stuff, right? Yeah. And then they would sell probably goods and stuff. Everyone is different. Like they have full say on how they want to represent their countries. But it's so much fun. I used to go to them. I used to go to them all the time, right? I haven't been in the past few years only because, I like to go off exploring if I have some extra money, right? Because yeah, I like exploring. I like to get out on the road. So if I'm going to have spend some money. It's going to be spent, getting on the road. It's driving me crazy. It's just like on my mind all the time. Like it's such a beautiful evening tonight, right? Even though the mosquitoes are out there now and they are starving. Can you imagine the mosquitoes this year? We're not going to have a very big mosquito population at all. Here in Manitoba, we also have dragonflies, right? Dragonflies, once they start rolling in, will take care of the mosquitoes naturally, right? Then you don't have to depend on sprays because here in Winnipeg, we spray in the summertime to take care of the mosquitoes. But no green worms. I took a video last week when I saw the bugs starting to eat the leaves, and I'm looking at the leaves now. Everything looks nice and green and everything. And it's the first day of summer already. First day of summer today, right? So yeah, maybe we'll keep the leaves on the trees this summer. Maybe we'll keep the leaves on that would just be absolutely, absolutely amazing. Okay, Andrew. You don't put the books into because the books are such good condition and such good books. You don't put them in the little outdoor libraries, the little books, Andrew? Yeah, I haven't read a book. Well, the last book I read was Evan's Built to Serve, right? But I don't really usually read those kind of books, on the norm, right? I don't read books at all. But when I used to read books, it would always be history books, right? They were always, books on architecture, or they were books on Canada history, or my Egyptology books, right? My Middle Eastern books, right? Yeah. Yeah, I love history. Always, even as a tiny little kid, right? I remember how much I loved history. I was gonna I was gonna be an archaeologist. It was amazing that I could even pronounce the word archaeologist, right? you know and it was dinosaurs at that time, and it just changed all the time. So I went through these different periods of learning about different periods in earth, right, in the evolution. So I guess that's what it is. I study evolution, and that's my part in history. I love history, but I guess what I love is the evolution, because right now what I'm studying is the Neanderthals and the Denian humanoids and the uh, Homo sapiens, right? And there were so many different, like we had over 10 different species of human beings, right? And then we're the ones that got to evolve, right? Isn't that amazing, right? Isn't that amazing? You know that there is definitely a hand in that. When you look at where we are at intellectually compared to any other animal on earth, right? In our evolution, right? Even as an animal, it doesn't even make sense. Like there's definitely God hand in that, right? Definitely. And it makes me think, makes us wonder where we are going to be at, like in 10 years, or 100 years or 1,000 years, if this is how smart we've gotten, where we have babies with instead of what was that those toys that we had, what Fisher Price toys. Remember the Fisher Price toys with the strings, the wooden toys with the strings, and when you walked and pulled the string, all the parts, like the dog. Remember there was a dog and there was a telephone. Oh, Owen's here too. Hi, Owen. Right? There was a dog. There was a telephone. What else was there? Oh, there was that clear plastic thing with the bubbles inside. And it was on a stick. So when you rolled the stick, all the bubbles, and it made a noise, a crackling noise and stuff. Yeah, I remember those, right? I don't know why I started talking about the Fisher Price stories. We may see. We'll blame that on Owen. We'll make Owen the scapegoat. I'm learning lots about scapegoats, right? Truly believe I was born to be a scapegoat. That was the plan, and somehow I escaped from the pen. Yeah. Yeah, that was a smart goat. That was a smart goat. You never got married, eh? Andrew never got married, eh? And William, have you been married? Have you been married? Or did you just have those long-term relationships of yours? And I'm glad you're keeping up on those walks, William. That's absolutely. I bet you're just starting to feel really amazing now. And I bet you're actually meeting people. You're able to stop. I hope you're keeping your 3 feet distance or 5 feet distance from people, but you're able to stop and have conversation and actually meet people now, right? Blocks. With me, it was a barrel of monkeys, pickup sticks, jacks. Remember jacks? Um, of course, the clackers. I loved the clackers. Loved Battleship. I loved Operation. Right? I played Monopoly, but I played Monopoly because Monopoly was a family game where I could actually, be part of the family and actually, compete and yeah. So that's why I haven't played Monopoly in forever and ever. There is, a few games that I do. I like to play Uno, which is a gasoline, like it's gas cards. It's a British. I think it's a British game. I'm not sure. Does anybody out there play Uno? 10,000, 10,000 mark. Pyramid Solitaire. Wow. Yeah, that was one of my favorite games. I really liked that one, right? And it's funny, right? Because these were all my favorite games were games that you had to play with other people. So I guess I really enjoyed. So now that we're talking about it, and that's nice. I like these conversations where I have these little, just little ones, but just little ones because I try to remember, what I was like as a kid and why I did things and why I thought certain ways and my relationships with the people around me, right? And all of this interests me. But yeah, that's that's interesting that I actually liked board games that you could do with other people. Like I really enjoyed those. So I guess I wanted to feel like part of I wanted to feel welcomed, like I wanted to feel like I belonged, right? I guess we all do. And that's a big part of me too, right? Like I always wanted to belong, but not quite sure how to do it. So I just kind of stayed with my family, right? But there were periods where, I did have some great friends, but they were always interesting. They were always artists and people who just love to have fun, right? Yeah. Yeah, it was a great time. It was a great time when I was hanging out with the Brian and the Ian and the Mike, and oh my gosh, who else was all the girls were hanging out with us too, right? And we'd hang out at the bar. We hung out at the bar like almost every night or every second night anyway. We spent our time in the bar. So it just kind of made sense that I would work there at some point, right? But I was big when I started hanging out there. I was well, it was just after my dad died. And actual right after my dad's funeral, my friend Raymond, I remember very clearly, he took me to that bar. He was the first person who took me to that bar, and that ended up being my neighborhood bar, like even up to this day, right? Now it's totally different. Now it's a sports bar and stuff. When I went there, it was a nightclub, right? It was a nightclub, and then it just slowly went down in its ratings as a nightclub. So they had to do something with it. So they tore it apart and they turned it into a sports bar. And then finally the hotel changed hands and they renovated the bar again, right? But they had the virtual golf machines, which were really, really popular. People would spend good money and just get these cubicles where they would go in and they would play golf in the wintertime. And yeah, you had to book these cubicles like well into advance. And I remember each one was very, very expensive. Like each one was like $70,000, or it was very expensive. But at that time, virtual reality was just starting to get popular, right? Was starting to get popular, and they're just like screens, right? You're just in a box and it's just screens, and you're just gives you a screen of a big field with the nine hole, and yeah, you stand there and you take shots with it with your own set of golf clubs and your balls and stuff, right? Yeah, and you don't have to walk a long ways to go get your balls. And then if you go into ditch, well, then you just go up to the wall and you grab your ball off the wall in the ditch, right? Yeah. So they were very popular. I really loved that job. I really loved. I was actually the other day thinking, maybe I should try tomorrow to apply it at some of the legions, right? I think if I could get on at a legion, it would be very good for me. It might be fairly easy for me also to get on at the Legion, right? To get on at the Legion, and it would also be good for the people who attend the Legion. The Legion is for veterans. It's a social club for veterans. It's like a bar, right? It's like a little bar with a dance floor. They usually have like band nights and stuff, right? Play lots of polka music and stuff, right? But it's a place for them to hang out, a place to socialize and stuff. But it might be good for them also that I work there because it's just me and my cat, right? So I'm not around other people. So I'm kind of a safe bet as an employee if you're looking for somebody to be germ free, right? Watch me get the flu. But yeah, I'm very, very careful. And because I'm by myself, I'm not taking lots of risks with having people around me that could give me the chance of getting that cold, right? So yeah, I think maybe I will. I may go back to the Legion, right? Yeah, I think so too, Andrew. I think so too. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. We have a couple of legions in my area, so it would actually be quite handy dandy if I could get one of those, because then I could ride my bike to work too, right? I could ride my bike to work too. Plus, I could make some tip money. Plus, I could pick up some history stories, and then maybe some tips on places where I could go and visit and explore, right? And then, once that money is flowing in, like the moment I have enough to get a vehicle, like I'm back in my car, and I'm back at it. Of course, it'll all be mindset built into it, like the whole programming, but I'm excited to think of the concepts, right? And that's actually something I could start doing right now, writing my top topics, practicing how I'll get the message across, right? So when I'm actually in the scenes in the forest or a camp and stuff, like I could actually have my messages ready and ready to go. And if I can do them all at the same time, then I can save lots of time and make lots of posts. What a great idea. Well, it's not a great idea. Well, it's a great idea, but it's an idea I should have thought of a while ago. But yeah, I need to I need to start getting those posts ready. Like I said, you never know, how things are going to change, right? Like things could change in an instant. In an instant. To me, what I'm in debt seems like an insurmountable amount of money to ever try to figure out how to catch up on, right? But there are jobs out there where people would make that amount of money in 1 or 2 days in order to pay those debts off, right? Yeah. I didn't pick marketing for right? I love marketing, and there's lots of opportunities in marketing, but yeah, I keep hacking away at it. But to give me some ideas, I think I need to pay more attention to the technology part of it, right? Be on more top of the apps and more on top of the gear. Start looking at gear now, right? Because if I'm going back to work, maybe I'll be able to get a little bit of money together. Maybe what I should do is, like, that lady who does those. Oh, my daughter's a princess. You know that one where they put the kid on a budget because they're a spoiled brat, and they get jars, and then each jar represents a certain amount of money that you're allowed to spend in that month, right? So maybe I could have one jar for investing in my channel, whether it's like I need a new, a lavalier, or I need, I need another hard drive. That's going to cost me $100 right there. Oh, yeah, this hard drive, I'm so afraid of adding anything more onto it. It takes forever to add anything onto it now, right? And it says I still have almost a TV left in it, right? But yeah, it's filling up, right? So it's filling up, and because there's so much of my content there, right? Like all my beautiful abandons are on there, and even if the sound is bad in some of those, I took some really great video. I took some really great video that I can actually put things together. I might try that tonight. I'm gonna write that down too. Try putting some of my explore videos up on my Instagram so people can see what I do, right? Other than the mindset, because when I'm on Instagram, it's all mindset that I do over there, right? It's all self-improvement and bettering myself and moving myself forward. And I do that here too, but basically all I do is I fill you in once a week at what I'm at, right? It sure would be nice where I could have an editor. Wouldn't it be great, guys, if I could have to have an editor? Because then I could just take my camera and I could just do all my filming, do the Cindy thing, not worry that I have to come back and try and figure out how to put a half decent video together, right? I like doing my thumbnails and all my metadata and all of that, but I'm a terrible editor. That would be so handy dandy. And I guess now with the kids, all the kids in school are all working with Premiere Pro and everything, like it's probably just almost like, breathing for them in school now with the Premiere Pros. And Yeah, I still just basically do the basics and stuff. And of course, I lost my editor, but I can download an editor, a free program off of offline. So I'll most definitely do that. I'll make some space on my computer, and right, right, and we'll get backtrack. Yeah, it's been a while, and I've been cheery and I've been patient, right? Right? I've been cheery and I've been patient, and yeah, it's the best time of the season right now. Like right now. Well, it's still tick time, right? Like there's lots of ticks out there right now, but like yeah, if I could have a couple of months, right? If I could have July, and I could have August, right? Oh, but I would want September, October, and probably the beginning of November too. Like I love exploring in October, right? I love exploring October because all the leaves are off the trees and I can walk right into the forest. Yeah. Right now I just get covered in spurs, and I get covered in ticks. So maybe I should be grateful right now that I'm sitting here at the desk rather than out exploring. But I sure would like to get some explore videos. If I splice some of those videos together, right? Some of those explore videos that I did, and make new videos out of them, would you guys be interested in seeing them if I posted them? I'm sure you would. I would do a good job too. Maybe I need to be looking at that too. I have this week off. I think I have this week off. Maybe I can make some explore videos through the footage that I have right now, right? It would be good to look at some of my old memories, right? Some of my old explorers, right? Right? Because they were fun. They were lots of fun. They were lots of fun. And lots of them were really good too. Well, they could have been better, but yeah, you learn from your mistakes, right? Yeah, but with me, pickup sticks, um, Barrel of Monkeys, loved Barrel of Monkeys. I loved Operation, right? So, the bubble nose guy, right? When you touch the edge, and the whole game would go off. I love that, right? Yeah. These are the things we love as a kid, right? To preoccupy our time. Yeah. But I was an avid reader when I was a kid. Like I read lots. Even as a young adult, I read lots. I read lots. But yeah, it was just kind of like a light switched on, right? When I was able to get online and started working on my channel and stuff. And yeah, I really enjoyed the learning process, right? Right? Self parenting, teaching myself, right? I bet you do a lot of self parenting, don't you, Andrew? I bet you like to do lots in the way of teaching yourself things rather than going off and asking people to teach you things. I bet you figure things out on your own. I see you like my Trojan horse. Look at my Trojan horse. I love these ornaments. I have a dog and I have a fish too, right? And they all have these bases. Yeah, they have to be saved. I'm sure my sister will stuff them in her closet if I have to move or something, right? Yeah, because these are some of my favorite pieces, right? It's from the Home Sense store, right? The Home Sense store. Every time I walk into that store, I have to buy something. The decor they buy is for sale is so unique, right? It's an amazing place for people who have imaginations, curiosity, love color, love uniqueness, right? Yeah, Home Sense is the store for you. Yeah. Yeah, they do so good, to have a store like that. You can actually offer shopping carts, and the shopping carts actually get filled with stuff. Yeah, I can't leave that store without buying something. And I just love to I could wander around that store for, well, I could wander around for an hour before I got bored. That's for sure. Yeah. Ah, okay. Okay. And what are your interests on YouTube, Andrew? Andrew, what are your interests on YouTube? And what kind of videos do you like to watch, William? Where did Owen go? Owen's being quiet today. Yeah. How are you doing, Owen? How are things going this week? I know you had a crappy couple of weeks. Had a crappy couple of weeks there. Is this week going any better? Yeah. You're very quiet tonight, Owen. That's all. Did you see that I finished Owen's stick? I don't know if I showed everybody, but I finished Owen's stick. It's already, yeah, look at that beautiful colors in there, right? Right? Oh, and there's his name, right? Do I have it the right way? There, like that. Yeah, it's really nice. It's got a nice spot. It's got a nice spot for your thumb right there. I dug it out just nice, sanded it nice and smooth. You'll get a nice patina in there. For Karen, I'm doing Karen Pruden. She might pop in tonight. You never know. You never know. But I'm coming down to I'm just tapering this out. Like I never sanded anything today, but I try to do 5 minutes every few days. If I had a grinder, I would have that done right away. But there's all this worm rot, right? All this beautiful worm rot. I'm trying to save it. I think it looks so cool, right? I think it looks so cool. But I can see here where I'm sanding it, it looks different from way it looked originally because I haven't sanded this, right? So I know I'm losing some of the worm rot down there, but hopefully not all of it. But let's move my coffee cup. I really love this one. I really love the handle. It's going to give her lots and lots of support. Doesn't it look like that mask from Robert Downey Jr.'s you know that one where he was a doctor in the first plague, and he wore that leather mask that looked like a bird beak? Yeah, that's what that reminds me of. But I hope Karen loves it. I hope she loves that. And yeah, maybe her husband will come out and grab it for her if she can't come out, right? Huh. Oh, so we're all singles. We're all singles here, right? Yeah, it's going to be really, really nice. Those colors, I'll make sure I show everybody. I haven't even stained it or anything yet, but the colors are just going to pop. I know for sure when I've gotten and I decided to leave that bit of bark on the stick because it was so hard to come off. Like I was prying it off with the screwdriver and a hammer, like, well, I wasn't using the hammer, but I was prying it off with the screwdriver, right? To get that stuff off. And it's on there like cement, right? Normally I'll skim my branches, right? And I'll skin my like I'll take the bark off, right? As soon as I bring the sticks home, right? That's the best time because it's like peeling a carrot when you do it that way, right? When you wait for the bark, when you wait for the stick to dry, yeah, it's more difficult. And because the wood on this one here is actually elm, yeah, it's a piece of elm. Elm? No, it's not elm, it's oak. Trying to think. It's elm. It's elm. Yeah. So this is a piece elm. They look quite similar, right? They look quite similar in the bark and the thickness of the bark. But that is on there. So like I couldn't pluck that off if I tried. If I got a screwdriver, I couldn't get any more off on there, right? Because it was able to dry over the course of the winter. It was able to dry on there, and yeah, it's on there good, but it gives a good character, I think, right? It gives a stick character. So yeah, I'll get that done, and we'll get that off to get that off to Karen. Me and Karen have been trying to get together for over a year now. We tried a few times, right? Tried a few times to meet up. A couple of times I was driving out in her area, right? And then I was going to bring her a coffee, and then once I was going to have a workshop, and then she was going to come to the workshop on that one. And then the other time she was going to come visiting, and yeah, and then, some of us, we just have, just poopy things happen to us all the time, right? It's just kind of like in our makeup. If there's something, some of us have that happen to us. Like, with me, it's not physical, right? But I always have, um, little miseries myself, right? But I am going to say that I am grateful for my health, right? And I think I was given health because I was meant to be I was meant to be a scapegoat, right? So you give the scapegoat good health so that they can handle lots, right? That's what I'm figuring anyway, right? And yeah, I guess that was a story I had to play out, right? And yeah, hopefully now this will do the trick for me, hopefully, right? Wouldn't that be amazing if I could move things along a little bit better now, right? Yeah. And they do make those sticks, right? They do make those sticks where they're actually, whoops, canteens, right? For the alcohol, right? Do you let me pick up? Come here. What? I was gonna pick my cat up, but she wants to play. She doesn't want to be picked up, right? You don't want to be picked up? We'll see. It depends if she jumps up. She usually like jumps up and she puts her nails into my leg. And I just noticed like I have little holes. She never has bitten me or nipped or anything like that, not even out of excitement or anything. I was actually very surprised. We had thunderstorms. Was it yesterday or the day before? It might have been yesterday. We had thunderstorms, and my cat jumped up into the window, my open window, and stuck her head out the window and let the rain, which was absolutely pounding, pound on her head. And the thunder and the lightning was going off. I never had a cat that enjoyed thunder and lightning before. It did. She had no fear whatsoever, and it was going off like the light and the big booms too. So what are you looking for, right? My little meatball, right? Are you my little meatball? Are you my little meatball? Huh? Kind of funny looking with just one ear, right? Right? Yeah. But I never know if she's staring at me or if she's sleeping, right? Because her eyes kind of like you can't see her eyes. Like look at you can't see her eyes, right? So I never know if she's staring right at me. But she grunts like a pig, right? So if she's laying there, I'll just kind of go like this and she'll grunt at me if she saw me, right? And then that's when I'll call her over for a little bit of playtime. Huh? A little bit of playtime. Do you want to go down now? Yeah, she's looking at treats. And we also have a game. Me and the cat have this game. I have all these hair ties and I have little balls and stuff, right? And I have a big handful, and she lays on the living room floor and I stand in the kitchen, and I toss them to her, and she catches them in the air, but she lays like she's laying on her back with her belly, and she catches them and she rolls around, and yeah, we do that a few times. She absolutely loves playing. She loves playing with her toys, right? And they're all light toys, so I can just chuck them at her, and she absolutely loves it. And she's getting really good because I have 14 at a time that I chuck at her, and then I go collect them, and then I go back, and then I start chucking them at her. And I probably do that 2 or 3 times until she decides she just wants to roll in them like they're catnip, right? She's such a good cat, like such a good cat, right? You're a good cat. I know you are, cutie cutie. Yeah. Yeah. I love my cat. I'm so grateful and thankful and so happy to have her, right? So happy to have her. And I'm sure she's happy to have me too because I'm a good mom. I am, right? I am. I don't think I feed you too many treats, but you're sure turning into a meatball. She meows now too. She meows, but mostly she grunts, right? Mostly she grunts, but in the morning when it's time for me to get up, right? Right around 7 o'clock in the morning, my eyes open and the first movement that comes out of me, that's it. It's time for me to get up, right? Which is good, right? I want to be getting up. I usually get up around 7:30, right? Because I'll spend that half an hour just kind of laying in bed and waking up with the cat and play with her a little bit and stuff, right? Even though she's not interested really in playing, she's just interested in me getting out of bed so I can go straight to the temptations and get her treats, right? Because she's a treat monster. Oh, Melvin. Who's Melvin? Where's Let me look here. Do we have a Melvin here tonight? Or he got it wrong, maybe. Somebody else he was talking about, William. Yeah. Man, you guys can talk. Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. You have such a good memory, Andrew. Wow. I'm one of those people that I could watch the movie once and I'll be ready to watch that movie again, like within a couple of weeks, right? Because I get more out of a movie the second time than I do out of the first time, right? Because first time I'm always looking at storyline. And then the second time I'm looking to see what the film is actually representing in, like, say, foreshadowing and stuff, right? Of the movie. And there's always underlining meanings, right? There's always underlining meanings. I don't want to miss the comments here. Let's roll this back down. Melvin! Perfect. Welcome aboard. How did the guys know you were here? How did the guys know you were here? I didn't see it. Oh, there you are up there. Oh, I had a beautiful diamond willow staff, Melvin. I had a beautiful diamond willow staff. And I don't know, I went exploring, I think, and I must have sat on a log or something. I had it for years and years and years. It was like I specially picked it and the artist and everything, right? It was money that I couldn't really afford to spend, but I really, really, really wanted this cane and or this walking stick. And yeah, I had it for years and I've lost it. I don't know I have no idea what happened to it. I left it when I went exploring somewheres, but I'll make myself another cane at some point, right? I'll make myself another one. But yeah, awesome. Malcolm, welcome on board. And I'm glad. Do you watch my explore videos too, Melvin, or do you just come in and watch the lives? William comes over and sees me on my Instagram. He comes and watches and hangs out with me on Instagram. If anybody ever wanted to come to Instagram, come and hang out with us. I'm changing all my formatting over there on the types of posts that I'm making. So it's interesting to, because I'm starting to experiment a little bit, right? Just trying to figure out, colors and branding and, just getting better at putting out the content and being more consistent and, trying to do it a little bit more, right? Like right now with the virus and not working and everything, like I should be posting all the time, right? I should be posting all the time, but I'm trying to divide my time between, studying, dealing with the family, right? Dealing with my household, and at the same time getting my content out there. So I have a full day. I have a full day too, and especially too. Also, I want to try and get a bike ride and a walk in every day, right? At the very least, try and get outside every day. But is everything opening in everybody's cities now? Is everybody opening up in their cities now? Like the stores and everything? I saw that the numbers started to rise again, right? That was my friend Elaine. Just giving me a little thumbs up, I guess, on one of my posts on Instagram. That's nice. It makes me feel good because, like, if I have regular people that I actually know kind of hanging out with me and stuff, right? Yeah. It's hard to learn all that. There is so much to learn. Like I know I'm a bit of a natural in it because I delve lots into my experience and stuff, right? And then of course also being a spectator, right? Right? That comes in handy dandy too because I was always trying to figure out other people and working a little bit as matchmaker. Maybe that's what I should do. I should be a matchmaker. I would make an amazing matchmaker. I would. If you guys want to send me little introduction videos, right? Yeah, do something like that and then get a whole selection. And then when I meet the girls or I meet the guys, right? And they would be perfect for each other, right? And set you guys all up, and then you wouldn't be bachelors and bachelorettes for too long, would you? You would all be set up. I would make an awesome matchmaker. I almost feel like at one point I probably was a matchmaker. It probably would have been something I would have been really good at, and I would have taken advantage of that for sure. For sure I would have. Yeah, but it was diamond willow too, Andrew. Yeah, Melvin, I really loved my diamond willow walking sticks. Do you make walking sticks, Melvin, or do you just enjoy them? Aw, see? Good on you, William, right? You keep looking, you keep waiting, right? Don't settle. Don't settle, you guys, right? When you guys find your partners, you'll know right away. You'll know right away and you'll fall into it nice and easy. But make sure that you pick good for yourselves, right? That'll make it so that you can at least have a little bit better life than what you're having now, right? Well, not that your life isn't good now, but you know what I mean? Add a little bit of extra ingredient to your life to make your life more exciting and, more enjoyable, right? That's why we take on partners, right? Is to make our lives a little bit more interesting, a little bit more enjoyable, and a little bit less burdensome. 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 Oh, I can't do that word. There's some words I have problems for here. And lots of times there are words too, right, that aren't actually depending on where you live, it would be how you would pronounce them, right? How you would pronounce them. Yeah, McDonald's, the inside of the McDonald's you can do for takeout now. So that's good, right? I bet you lots of people missed McDonald's. Sure, you could go through the drive-through with your car, but for people who didn't have a car, right? Or people who sent their kids and everything to go get dinner. And that's expensive, right? I bet you like Skip the Dishes was just making a killing, right? On delivering dinners, right? I hope Nancy is doing good tonight. I hope Nancy is doing good tonight. Sending Nancy out lots of lots of wonderful mojo tonight. Hoping everything is good. I know she was really worried last week. She was really worried about what was going on around her home, right? She was really worried whether or not she was even going to have a home this week. So yeah, I hope I emailed her a couple of times last week, but she said she's only able to check those messages every once in a while. So she'll get back to me. I'm certain as soon as she can, right? 'Cause she knows I'm going to worry about her otherwise. And what country is that, Melvin? Where do you live, Melvin? I like that name, Melvin. That's a good name. That's a good name. I like that name. For God, there's a few names that I really like for guys, right? Like I like the name Sam. Sam's a good name for a guy, right? Samuel. You can give him the name Samuel, but I just call him Sam. Not Sammy either. Just Sam. Nice and simple, right? But there are names that I really like. My name's Cynthia. Oh, don't be eating my phone cord, you bad kitty. Um, my name Cynthia actually means moon goddess, right? But my dad was the only one who called me Cynthia. And when he did call me Cynthia, I knew I was in. I'm just gonna put my cords up here. I knew I was in big trouble, right? I knew I was in big trouble when I heard my dad call Cynthia, right? And I went, oh, I did something, right? Oh, the patios. Exactly, Andrew. You're 100%. There's no excuses now that we're all online, right? Like this is what we're doing right now, Andrew, is networking. Like this is your one of your networks right here, right? And these people know who you are. They know. Do you have platforms where people can come and find you, Andrew? Do you have a platform where every once in a while, if you have a thought, you could throw your thought out there? I mean, if you had a Twitter account or an Instagram account, right? And then every once in a while, if you had something on your mind that you wanted to get out there to the world, right? Provide a little bit extra service, right? Right? Things get better the more service that we can provide, right? The more we can do for each other, the better it is for everybody. It's all about, as far as I'm concerned, it's all about moving our evolution. And whether you think it's moving our evolution for the next life or moving our evolution for this life, right? We should never stop learning. I was actually reading about Alzheimer's, right? You know, how people struggle with the Alzheimer's and then the different type of research, the medical research that is going on now in Alzheimer's, right? Yeah, and how difficult it is in the families. I guess Andrew would relate, and Owen too, right? Would relate to this a little bit, right? Because Owen's taking care of his mom, and Andrew, while he takes care of his brother, right? But yeah, I think communities are good. Like not everybody can move into, those the condo complex for 55 plus. Like there are lots of 55 plus out there that are pensioned, right? They're surviving on very low incomes, and your choices for accommodation, if you're not able to pay those high rents, right? And if you don't have a home yourself, then your options are limited, right? So to get into you have to get into the government housing, which is, like here in Winnipeg, the government housing, that my sister has to leave her apartment once a month or once every couple of weeks. She has to leave the apartment, and she has to pull all the furniture away from the wall, and they come in and they spray her apartment for bed bugs and stuff, right? Because once the bed bugs get into those buildings, then it's hard to get rid of, right? But there are lots of people out there, seniors, whose partners have died or their children have moved over and stuff, moved on, right? Like, you could turn your house into a bed and breakfast, or even better, right? Invite some more 55 plus to come join you and to add some flavor to your household, right? Let them have a room, right? Let them have a little piece of backyard to put a garden in, right? Say hello to them every once in a while when you pass each other to the bathroom, right? And put a little bit extra money in your pocket that you would put towards the bills, right? Now you have a little bit of money so that, you've got somebody in your house. Now you got good roommates in your house taking care of your property, right? Being good friends to each other. And now you got a little bit of money in your pocket too, because they're helping with some money. And you put that in a little pile, and at the end of the year you can go, oh my gosh, my whole life, I wanted to go spend the summer in Scotland, right? And now you have the money to do it, right? Because you brought on some, right? You were enterprising. You thought out of the box to figure out a way to make that money. And you don't even have to worry about your house, somebody breaking into your house or anything like that, because you got good people there already taking care of it, right? Yeah. Yeah, if you have a house, I would suggest to anybody, right? If you're on your own and you're over 50 years old, right? Open up your house. There are lots of people. I would move into one of those houses. I would. In Winnipeg, if somebody owned a house and they had a room to rent, a little backyard for me to sit in the evening, right? A little fire pit would even be more amazing if I had a little fire pit that I could have a little bonfire out there at night, right? But that didn't, you know, yeah, I wouldn't even think twice, right? Because even as low as my rent is here, right? My apartment is like under $750 a month, right? It's under $750 a month. I pay my utilities, right? My cable and my hydro and stuff, but it's not very much compared to other places in the world, right? Even in our own country, even in my own city, it's very difficult to get this good enough apartment for the price that I'm paying. So I'm very, very grateful, right? Friend with the now we got Rick. Hey Rick, how's it going? Right? But yeah, like let's find a way so you're not going into the seniors' homes. Who wants to go into the seniors' homes? I certainly don't want to be stuffed into a seniors' home, right? And at the pace I'm at now, right? Physically, right? I don't think I'll even be ready for a seniors' home for another 30 years, even, right? grateful, but still, right? So yeah, I would move into those houses. I would move into a house like that. I wouldn't even think twice, right? But it's a matter of finding the right people to move in with, right? But now we're online. We're online. We can meet people face to face on the phone, even, right? At any time you want. Do it through both Facebook, right? Has anybody tried those Facebook groups? Would anybody join me on Facebook one night if I were to do a chat on Facebook? To maybe just chit chat about childhoods and stuff. Would anybody be interested in coming and hanging out with me for an hour and stuff, getting to know each other a little bit better and stuff, and opening up a little bit more on the platform? Right? That would be lots of fun. I would put it together if I thought you guys would be interested in coming to visit me and hanging out on chat, right? And it would just be us. Nobody else would see it, right? And we can have, I'm not sure how many people we can have. I think we could have quite a few if we wanted to, right? Why are people going crazy there? William, is there stuff going on in your hometown? In your area? And what about your church members at your church, William? Oh, well, there we go, Andrew. We'll try something, right? We can try something. Just push ourselves a little bit better. We'll practice, Andrew, right? So that you can put your network together, right? That you can have your own network that is just whatever Andrew is interested in, and not have to follow, people who have a little bit of your interest but not fully. This way you'll be able to find people that are just fit absolutely perfect, like we fit here on Sunday nights, right? You don't go anywhere, so I'll still expect you here on Sunday night, right? But you're right, Andrew. It's important. It's important for everybody to network, right? It's important for everybody to network. Yeah, socialize. It'll keep you out of the seniors' homes, that's for sure. Thanks, Rick. That's nice of you to say. Well, typing works. Doesn't typing work? And then once I actually got you there, Andrew, right? Then I can just say, push this button, push that button, right? Me and you could just work through it, right? Me and you would just work through it. Yeah, and that way you can practice, and then that way you'll be able to pull people, right? Because once you know how it's done and once you're comfortable doing it, then you'll just go off and you'll just do it on your own, right? Because then you'll have that confidence to do it, right? Oh, the fireworks. Why? Is it a holiday weekend? Am I missing something? Fireworks. Why would there be fireworks today? Oh, I'm missing a holiday, aren't I? Is it the 4th of July? No, it's not the 4th of July. Maybe I'm interesting. I actually have a fireworks store just a couple of blocks away from us. Is a big store. It's been there for decades, right? And they sell all the big fireworks. But I thought fireworks were illegal to sell. But yeah, he's had that shop for years, for decades and decades. Where are you from, Rick? Hmm. But yeah, let's see. What else can we chit chat about? Hmm. Want to do some mindset? No, it was interesting though, right? Because they were saying that when we have problems getting motivated, right? When we're getting nervous, when we start to get anxiety and stuff because we have to go to offices and stuff, like to do official things. I don't really have it's bothersome for me, right? It's bothersome, but I don't have a problem going to talk to people to sort things out. That's not an issue to me. But lots of people it is, right? And these were just different tactics to how to positively affirm that well, how's it simple, right? Things you say to yourself to make you confident to start getting going, right? So that's what I was doing on that program there. I just started a new book too. Just I just started it, and I'm already like halfway through it already. I'm sure I didn't do every page. No, I didn't. I only like doing the right hand page almost out often. Then the left hand page is for my doodles, right? Because I do what I call magic doodles. Sometimes they're a shape, sometimes they're an animal or something, right? But oh yeah, the four states of values. I learned so much this week, but mostly what I was learning was about narcissism, right? You know, yeah, like being emotionally and physically manipulated, right? So I kind of lived I kind of lived that life my whole life. And so it's important for me to actually learn about the narcissism, right? It's really important for me to learn because those are things that I can easily fall into, right? I'm one of those people that I love an adventure. I have a curious mind, right? And I'm happy to talk to people and stuff. It would be easy to suck me in, right? It would be easy to suck me in. Well, not anymore. I would hope, but yeah, I'm not practicing. So I need to go out there, I don't know, walk in and out of stores, interact with people, right? Maybe when I go back into the work program and the classes and stuff, spend more time and work on that, right? The long guns, like the rifles, they want to take the rifles away. Oh, okay. Yeah, I lived in Edmonton. My ex-husband, he was a patricia and he got stationed in Edmonton and yeah, we moved out there. I absolutely loved Edmonton. I loved how clean the city was, right? I loved how clean it was, and yeah, I thought the people were really friendly. But yeah, what caught my attention was how clean. And I was happy there, right? I was happy there with my husband. We had a nice little house and I was playing the housewife, and right, it was nice. It was nice living there, right? But I guess home is where you are, right? Wherever you are in the moment. To me, that's what home is, right? It's important for me to have a roof over my head, but what that roof is, it doesn't matter to me as long as I have a roof over my head. Oh yeah, you know what? With me too, I thought the people here were absolutely amazing. That's what I love most about Manitoba is how real everybody is, right? The the diversity of all the different personalities and how everybody, like, what a prime example for the world, right? If you wanted to model a really good, I mean, I'm tooting my own horn, but and it's not my horn, it's the province's horn, and I'm not tooting anything that isn't true. but we would set a very good example to the world, I think, right? We would set a very good example to the world of how to respect, how to always, take into consideration other people, and keep in mind that it takes all kinds to make the world, right? And these are the kind of people that live here in Manitoba. Amazing, amazing people. It's what I loved most. What I hated most about Manitoba is when I had my first glass of water, and I could taste the chlorine in the water. I didn't like that, right? But I guess, you have to have fresh water. And I was living in BC, so the water was coming from the mountains, I think. I don't know where the water was coming from, but it certainly tasted a whole lot different than the water that I was drinking here in Manitoba. And then after that, I never drank water until they came out with bottled water. And then even then it was just on occasion. And even now I struggle, right? I try to have a bottle of water every day, and yeah, I still struggle, but I get lots of fluids in me, but they're all, what do you call, diuretics? Like they're coffee that take away your water, right? They make you dehydrate. They don't hydrate you, right? They don't hydrate. But it must hydrate me to some point, right? It must hydrate me to some point. Otherwise I would have more Charlie horses than I do. Boy, last week did I have some doozy Charlie horses. Did anybody out there, do they suffer from Charlie horses? Man, did I have a couple of doozy Charlie horses. Holy moly. Because usually I can just stand up and put my weight on them and just kind of do little steps and spots, and it'll go away, right? But I get bad ones where my back and my calf will just twist around right into the front, right? So you have to kind of unwind that knot until it can relax and go back into place. Where's my cat? And so what was I going to say about that? Yeah, the Charlie horses. But yeah, but I drank more water, drank more coffee. I got more fluids into me somehow. So this week has been much better. And I'm sure a lot of the Charlie horses and what else would have been caused. I had pimples last week. Well, that could have been from my shampoo. I had to pull out an old shampoo that I had underneath the bathroom sink, and it might have been too old, but I ended up with some pimples, and it's been a long time since I had pimples, right? And I normally only get them when I'm stressed out, right? That's how you can tell I'm stressed, is my face will break out when I'm stressed. And what else? I probably want to go out for more walks. I probably want to get outside more, right? Because I know that I can refocus if I get outside right away. Then I can come right back and be totally refocused, right? And cleaned up. Sometimes I get clogged up, and it takes going outside and breathing in some fresh air, or even if I put on the headphones and listen to that rain and wind music, right? I'll listen to that if I need to ground and there's nothing else to ground. Even opening up, a window or putting a fan on my face will help, right? Even watching my metal detecting videos helps lots. Even my educational videos, right? When I come in, and I watch my educational videos when I'm studying mindset and listening to these great thought leaders. And like some of these people, I tell you, would put most people to sleep. But I'm so interested. Like I just hang on every word, right? But I could just imagine myself even a year ago trying to sit through those conversations. I would have a hard time. I would have a hard time. I wouldn't be interested in the least. I would be I would be piddling around and trying to get things done in between and not paying any attention at all. And yet I find this stuff so fascinated. Like I said, I must have been a psychologist in a past life, and an archaeologist in a past life, right? Yeah. Maybe an actress, right? Maybe I was an actress, because communications, like I got word, like it's communications, right? Who's who's that? Oh, that's Ellen. Yeah, so it's communications that I'm going to move forward in. So I love that. I love that. Like right away, as soon as I come into this digital age, as soon as I come here, I'm on the internet, right? As a baby boomer, right? As a baby boomer, learning, practicing, getting better and better, right? Week after week, year after year, right? Right? Yeah. Now, if we can do up the set, that would make me happy. I like the color. I think the color is kind of great. It's a kind of a bluish gray. I like it. Maybe the shelf could be a different color. Maybe I could paint the shelf like a bright orange. That would be cool. I wonder. I don't know. But paint the shelf a different color, right? And then find different ornaments and stuff. I still want to put my feature books that I'm featuring, and now we featured your one word for this part, and now we'll feature built to built to serve, which I kind of get now, right? I kind of get now, right? Right? I think I was always meant to be. I was always meant to be in something. Yeah, something happened, right? Something popped and they said, "Okay, you're done being a scapegoat. Go help somebody else," right? Yeah. Amazing, amazing. Like I always knew I was, right? Like I always knew I was, but I didn't know what it was all about, what it meant. I just, from that book, did anybody read that book? I know we had to read it in school. It was called The Scapegoat. Do you remember? Does anybody out there remember that book? I think it was part of the school curriculum, right? Where the whole town designated a scapegoat. I think they even made a movie about it. 1 year. I'm 1 year from being a boomer too, but I call myself a baby boomer because it's only 1 year, right? I'm 1961. I think it was like 19 1959 was baby boomer. Mine was the first or second year of it's not a millennial because the millennials only went to 40. Generation X, Gen X. I have to look at it, right? But only by 1 year. No, it's an old one, Andrew. It was in the school curriculum. We actually had to read it. It was all about the scapegoat. It was all about, and it was a novel about a village. It was a novel about a village, and they had the town scapegoat, right? And then all their problems of the town, anything that went wrong, it got landed on the scapegoat, and then they had to send the scapegoat away, right? Yeah. The me generation. I can see that. Right? The me generation. Because that's what it was. We start to individualize at that point, right? Because in the 60s and 70s, it was like uh, sex, love, and rock and roll, right? Was that what it's called? Yeah, and like it was big groups and stuff, right? Yeah, the me generation, I could see that. My generation was thinking more on the lines of me about the careers and possibilities and stuff. Well, good for you, Rick, that you can pull it off. I was able to pull off my 20s until I was about 39 years old. I was able to pull off the 20s. I would get called on ID, right? I would get called on ID. 19. Yeah, so we're all around the same ages, right? So I guess that's what this is my audience, right? Will be baby boomers and people in their But all kinds of people like my content. And once the explore videos get up, then I'll have all ages back in there again, right? I know that happens, Andrew, all at once too, right? Going from being asked for ID to oh, do you want your discount at Shoppers Drug Mart because you're 55 plus? I'm just like, that happened to me this year. Yeah, that happened to me this year. And I had bang, and I don't wear the bangs so I look younger. I wear the bangs because it's personality for me, right? It just shows a little bit of personality. Time for another color though. It's fading. It's fading out. It's a nice color to start a job and stuff. A little bit more respectable. But yeah, I'll be ready for some bright pink. I'll be ready for some bright pink. Thanks for coming on, Melvin. That was awesome. Yes. See you next time for sure. It was absolutely great. Yeah, absolutely great. Yeah, we add on to the chatters every week. We get a couple of new people, right? Yeah. Okay, everybody. You know what? It's actually 9 o'clock. Wow, we got yapping away there too, and I don't think I really touched on anything important tonight, did I? It just seems like that the past couple of days, like everything just seems kind of lighter in the world, right? Not so dramatic, not so pressure's on. I mean, stuff is still getting done, but yeah, things feel a little bit better. Things feel. Let's hope tomorrow. Maybe this is a good week for us all. Wouldn't that be amazing? Okay, you guys. That's it for tonight. We'll see you next Wednesday. If you guys want to come on and chat with me on Instagram, you're more than welcome to. And yeah, Andrew, we should connect. We should connect on Facebook a little bit and have a chit chat. Okay, everybody, have a great night. Owen, thank you. Andrew, William, everybody, thanks for popping in. Take care. Have a great night. Bye-bye.